Don't you think the worst thing about being on tour today is that we cannot have our dogs with us?
Yeah, it's a bit.
Animals in my life, well, we have 2 dogs in California. We have a Chihuahua and we have a Chinese Crested, and they are both marvelous. I love Chihuahuas. I never really thought of Chihuahuas as being real dogs, and actually I'd been leading the charge to get a real dog for some time, and we ended up leaving the pet shop with this rather small animal that I didn't really think, that's not really a dog. Violet is our Chihuahua, and she's not our first Chihuahua, she's our third, and I have to say I've come to really love Chihuahuas. They're smart, they're loyal, I like them very much. But I've just come from England, and we're very lucky in England because we have we've got a couple of peacocks in England, and we've just got a peacock chick. We had to put them in the stable and lock them up because we'd lost 2 peacocks and their chicks to foxes. Well, we really wanted to keep this one, so we've got 1 little peacock chick, and we've also got 1 duckling, which was the 1 remaining duckling that made it out of a family of about 10 ducklings, and they were all dying in the cold water.
Oh no.
Yes, and they couldn't get out of the pond, so we managed to keep 1. Well, we kept 2 actually, but 1 got eaten by a rook. But yeah, that's my animal life this week. Thank you.
I
got a very fertile pet life.
A different kind of petdom, yeah. Well, I tweet about the dwarves, which is namely Tinker, the Chihuahua. I have to say, Tinker's a dreadful name for a dog. You know, for a guy to walk around Richmond Park shouting, Tinker! Tinker! He just makes you feel like a real My daughter named Tinker. Tinker's a Chihuahua, a white long-haired Chihuahua. She's also a bit of a sociopath. It's in dog terms, anyway. Then there's Luigi. Now, Luigi's mine. Luigi's a pug, and he's really quite tough, and he just loves to eat. And you know what? Pugs love to eat. People exist to feed pugs. He once ate half a kilo of Parmesan cheese, including, and this is not even grated, this is solid, half a kilo, including the rind.
Can't you just see that
Reggiano Parmigiano.
Can't you just see that scene taking place? Like, this one here's got the cheese out of his mouth, and he's saying, he ate it, Yasmin, he ate it.
And then there's the last one, Cecil LeBon, who has his own... he has his own
TV show.
Well, he probably does by now. We call him Special Needs Cecil, because he is special. Cecil is special. Special Cecil. He's quite timid. He's a Boston Terrier, but he was definitely the last one out. He's a couple of sandwiches short of a packed lunch, if you get my drift. He's a lovely, lovely, lovely dog. Well, that's the dogs, but we also have 2 cats as well. We've got Chooch, named after the Chooch in the Top Cat. Okay, Choo-Choo. And then there's Dusty. Dusty Parcel is her proper full name. They're sisters. And Chooch is quite fat. She's the alpha cat. But Dusty's really skinny and much hairier. She looks like she's got a bit of Persian in her. A bit like my wife, actually.
We're warming.
So she's completely fluffy all over, and she's very, very, very skinny. So if she ever gets wet, and you don't often see cats wet, but I have seen her wet, she's like a little stick underneath all that fur. She stays out all night. But when she does come back, she always brings you a present. So, like the 2 nights ago, before I came to New York City, I was lying there, and it was a bit of a warm night in London, and I heard this, and it's this thump, crunch, crack, and then there's this kind of boom, 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 and I turned the light on, and there's Dusty sitting there going with this poor little mouse, this poor little mouse that she brought for me, really, what she brought to play with herself. The mouse wasn't dead, but obviously exhausted, and had gone into that kind of protection mode that mice go into, to kind of like, if I just don't move, maybe you should go away.